Okay, we're here in Monument Valley in Utah, right on the upper edge of Arizona, but the lower edge of Utah, and lucked out enough to find a multi-level historian. And I'd like to introduce you to Royden. And he is Navajo, but Navajo's just an English made-up word too, but he has volunteered. We've convinced him to tell us a little bit about the Navajo history.
Oh, a little bit about it?
A lot, whatever.
I believe in 1600 Spanish arrived, and of course they met a small group of basically nomads. And these nomads were warriors, and the Navajo word for warrior is Navajo. And the Spanish, in their language at the time, for someone who has a dagger or is a knife wielder, saw these nomads carrying flint knives. So the term Navajo was labeled on them. And then over the years, they traded with horses, sheep, and cattle. 200 years later, these small nomadic tribes started adapting to a society where they could travel far to get better utilities, better weapons, because the horse can travel far and the cattle can haul in better logs to build better homes and houses. And a form of trading was done until, of course, the Navajo Wars started, and that's where I believe the Wild West comes in. Where I believe Navajos were mutual people. They didn't believe in fighting. Some did, some didn't. And during the Navajo Wars, there was a moment where it did stop. But then in 1864, a general named Kit Carson put a Scorch on Earth campaign, which was basically to remove all the Navajos off of their homeland and put on the reservation. Of course, to this day, it's known as a concentration camp. So as they were rounding them up, they sent them to Fort Sumner, New Mexico, close to the Bosco Redondo, and about 4 years they stayed there. But in that 4 years, they actually studied. They studied this new transition of the world. They basically listened to captured, warriors from Comanche and Apache, and from the stories they were hearing of what happened with that Little Bighorn, what happened to the Nez Perce, who is Quanah Parker, how did Quanah Parker became a successful man and was able to take care of his family. It's because they had to adapt to this new society. And also there's about 15,000 at Fort Sumner, and they were just named Navajo just because they were from the Southwest region. None of them knew each other. They were just like, who are you? I don't know. But they shared the language, they shared their religion, and built the tribe right there. And of course, with convincing General Sherman, they signed a treaty called the Treaty of Bosco Redondo. The treaty was that the United States was going to allow the Navajo people back their land because they're going to try out a democracy, which of course, it was, I believe back then, the mindset was like, oh, instead of slaughtering the red savage wants to be a civilized American citizen. So that's just how they thought. So they allowed them back. From what I was told was that's when they created the 4 clans, because there's so many people there from different regions and areas. They gave out these clans from the paternal families. That way there was no inbreeding. And so as they were traveling back, some of them couldn't really make the journey because the 4 years of staying in there, some of the originals didn't come home. So that's why when you meet someone with a clan like the Coyote Canyon people, the Turkey Clan people, the Hungry Clan people, those are the ones that basically couldn't make it all the way home.
And those are the four clans?
Well, there's about over 100 clan systems.
Oh, okay.
And so from then on, we became our own little sovereign nation. I mean, we're still developing. The United States had like 200 years ahead. Right now, we're barely 100 years into it, in my opinion, but that's just what I think. And that's what I learned, that's what I read, that's just a short summary. But today, now, I think me, a couple of friends are in the middle of our finding out who we are with reading from others, studying them. And of course, best thing about internet, social media, is that they actually put these out, the Bijad, Navajo language. This thing here I like because, you know, I grew up in a time when internet became a big thing. But of course we abused it, and
It can be evil.
it can be evil. If you don't know, it's like handing a kid matches and seeing what he would do. So for me, yeah, but yeah, it's just interesting to use social media to find people who are interested in art, language, things like that. Like you're finding a positive group. And of course, I've hung out with plenty of interesting people who share the same beliefs in art, music, language, writing, things like that. So it helped me kind of find my own little character out here. It's okay to wear your conchos. It's okay to wear a little bandana, like a tie. This is my suit and tie right now.
Uh-huh.
It's okay to express yourself. It's okay to learn other things like that you want to learn. For me, I like to play with my lariat, my lasso rope. I can do the Texas skip, the wedding ring, tricks like that.
Ooh.
Trick roping, that's what they call it.
We might do a session on that if you would show us. Oh, that would be nice.
It is.
You were going to explain to the rest of the world, all right, the Navajo people at this point are here, and then your brothers, natives to the north, are the
Ute Mountain. Yeah, towards the north is the Utes, the Ute Mountain natives.
That's usually in the state of Utah.
Yeah, usually in the state of Utah. Of course, to the west we have our Apache relatives who protected us. My dad says if you ever meet an Apache, you shake his hand, you say, "Thank you, keeping me alive." No matter where you are, you say, "Thank you." And of course, to the south is the Zuni and Hopi Pueblos. And that's where all of our jewelry, pottery ideas come from, because it started out there.
And to the west?
South. Oh, and then to the west, of course, to the west are our brothers and sisters. They're Navajos too. And of course, they have a mountain named Navajo Mountain. So, yeah, that's about all I know.
Now, the interesting part is, well, number one, I died to get here to talk to say this one statement, I guess, because over and over again I hear that the Navajo and the Eskimo are really the only two that were never really conquered, because you knew the area so well, valleys and canyons and whatever. They never really defeated you. They may have, launched some attacks, but
Yeah.
they just avoided them. Where they're sending 600 soldiers in to get 150 people, never came out with anybody. It's just
We just knew how to trick them, because it's like you study your enemy, you just kind of know their weaknesses, and basically, well, there's a story here about a general named Dave Mitchell and James Merritt, two generals that were in charge of rounding up everyone in this area towards Fort Sumner. But at the same time, they were looking for gold. The gold rush was a big thing in the 1860s, I believe. But most of the families here were farmers.
Uh-huh.
They didn't understand the currency or value of gold.
hunters and gatherers.
Yeah, so then of course the locals lied to them and says, over there. Then they go over there, meet another family. Where's the gold? And it's like, well, it's right over there. You got to go in this cane. It's about a 4-day journey. You'll find it. And of course, they died of exhaustion.
Okay, thank
Whatever
you very
this
much.
thing-
We're going to go
yeah.
on to your historian level, 'cause this
Historian.
intrigues the heck out of me.